Hello, Year 2. This week we're going to be looking at fractions. So we're going to start by thinking about halves. So I want to shade half of these shapes. Now the important thing with a half, remember, is that I'm shading one part out of two. I split up my shape into two equal parts and I'm shading one of those parts. So I could shade this part, that for instance would be a half. Again, if you look at this circle, I've split it up into two equal parts and I'm shading this bit here. What I can't do, this isn't a half. If I split it up like this, these parts aren't equal, so that is not a half. What happens though if I had four parts like this? Say my shape's been split up into four equal parts and I still needed to shade a half. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 parts here. So what is half of 4? Well, half of 4 divided by 2 is 2. I've got my 2 parts and I share out my 4. I've got 2. So I need to shade in 2 of these parts is a half. And if you imagine taking away this line through the middle, you can see it's exactly the same as this shape up here. Same with the triangle. Imagine that it's been split up like this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So I need to shade 2 of them to shade a half. So I could shade these 2. Could shade any 2. It doesn't matter which 2 I shade. As long as I shade 2, I would have shaded a half. So I'd like you to shade in a half of all of these shapes. So you can draw them in your book. And then shade in a half in different ways. Off you go. Okay, so hopefully you would have ended up with something like this. Doesn't matter which side you shade, as long as they're split into equal parts. And here we need to shade in 2 parts. So it could be any 2 parts out of 4, give me half shaded. Now, if we want to find half of an amount, I know in class you've been practicing using plates. So half of 6, again, because a half, remember, I've got these 2 equal parts. I'm going to draw my 2 plates, share out 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So half of 6 is 3. 1 part out of 2 is 3. Got 3 here, 3 here. 24, well, a little bit harder because it's a slightly bigger number. However, I could still draw my plates, share this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And now how many are in one part? Well, I'm going to cross them off as I count so I don't miss any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Half of 24 is 12. I could, however, also think of this as 24 divided by 2. That's what I've done here. I've shared into 2 groups. Instead, I could think of it as grouping, groups of 2. How many groups of 2 are in 24? Well, counting my 2s, I get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. That's 12 lots of 2 is 24. Now 90, here's a problem. I've got these 2 parts. If I tried to share out 90 dots, I could do that, but it would take me a very long time. And there's a chance I'm going to make a mistake because I might miscount one. I might draw a dot that I think is a squiggle or just a spot on the page and I miss something out. So is there another way of thinking about this? Well, yes, I could share, instead of 1s, I'm going to share 10s. So I'm going to count up 10, 20, 30, 40, think like my Dean's blocks, 50, 60, 70, 80. And now I've got a problem. If I put 90 in here, I don't have the same in here. So I haven't found a half, because remember, fractions have to be the same. Each part has to be the same. So I'm left with this 10. Well, if I turn the 10 into 10 ones, I could then share out my ones. So 1 or 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 100. So what's in each part? Well, here I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half of 90 is 45. So I'll let you have a go at finding half of these amounts. Think about your plates, so draw your plates, share out. But then with this one, really think, how am I going to do it? For this one, you need to look at this example, think, how did Mr. Etheridge do it? Can I do it in the same way? Pause the video now, have a go. Okay, so we get 10 divided by 2. 10, a half of 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is 5. Half of 16 you should have found is 8. And with the 70, what I'm going to do again, I'm going to count in my 10s, because we've got this multiple of 10. So I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Can't do 70 because then I don't have another 10 to share out. So I'm going to do ones now. So 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what do I have in here? I've got 10, 20, 30, 35. Half of 70 is 35.